Now at 11, escaping with their lives, dozens of Bronx residents now homeless after a fast-moving fire sweeps through several buildings. A pair of federal correctional guards now facing charges in connection to the death of Jeffrey Epstein. And breaking news out of Brooklyn, a school bus hit by a bullet. Kids were on board. News 4 New York at 11 starts right now. Dozens of Bronx residents who escaped a massive fire with just the clothes on their backs are now asking what caused this. Hello, I'm David Ushery. Stacy will be in later today. The fire began late last night in the Longwood section. Many are just coming out of the shock of all of this, and they realize they have nothing left. News 4's Catherine Craig has been on that scene all morning. Kat?
And that is also true, David. We've talked with some of the residents who lived here. They tell us through tears that they are in shock. They are in disbelief. When you take a look at the damage that this fire caused, these three buildings here destroyed. That space there is where the roof used to be. The residents we've spoken with this morning tell us they've lost everything.
All I can say is thank God for the police officers and thank God for the fire department.
Wrapped in a Red Cross blanket and wearing sandals on this cold morning, Louise says all she has left is in this suitcase. She ran for her life and grabbed what she could as fire ripped through her apartment building in the Bronx.
I saw smoke coming out the room, so she got up and yelled out everybody to call the fire department.
The Red Cross helped 25 people who lost their homes. When fire broke out last night, you can see in this video from Citizen app, flames shot through the roof. The fire started in one apartment building on Rogers Place near Westchester Avenue, then spread to two others. Tim Jones lives next to the buildings. Smoke filled his and other apartments.
The whole street was filled with, I've never seen so many firemen. But they did a good job, though. I mean, I even thanked them afterwards and said, thank you guys for saving our apartment.
The FDNY says fire spread through the attic space of these connected multifamily homes. Dozens of people ran out of the burning buildings.
We didn't have time to do anything. My girl put sneakers on. All I had time was put my slippers. So I'm out here in socks and slippers, hoping we didn't lose everything we own.
For many, that's what they face. A fire destroyed the homes here and turned lives upside down. And we just checked with the FDNY. Fire marshals continue to investigate what caused this fire. Reporting live, Catherine Craig, News 4 New York.
Kat, thank you for that update. We do have some breaking news in Brooklyn where a deadly shooting sent bullets flying into many nearby vehicles, including a packed MTA bus and a school bus that had children on board. Sources tell News 4 there was some sort of argument near Pennsylvania and Dumont Avenues when gunshots suddenly rang out. A 32-year-old man was shot and killed. The gunman has not been seen. We are told all of the kids on the school bus and everyone on the MTA bus are okay. We do have a story developing this morning. Two guards from the Federal Bureau of Prisons are in custody and now indicted by a grand jury in connection with the death of billionaire financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. News 4's Tracy Strahan is down at the Correctional Center now to tell us more. Trace?
Well, David, we've just learned the names of those guards. It's Michael Thomas and Tova Noel. Both of them have been charged with their alleged failure to actually check on the billionaire while he was in prison here in August. I want to show you video now of the Metropolitan Correctional Facility here in Lower Manhattan. The two guards were on duty here with the Bureau of Prisons when Jeffrey Epstein hanged himself in his cell back in August. Now, the 66-year-old was facing sex trafficking charges in a case that alleged that he was seeking minors as young as 14 years old for sex, all in exchange for cash. Despite a possible attempt weeks earlier, the billionaire at the time was not on suicide watch at the MCC. The guards are suspected of failing to check on Epstein every half hour as required, but instead falsifying log entries to say that they had. They came under scrutiny shortly after the billionaire's death. Now, officials say the charges against the guards will not change the determination that Epstein died by suicide. And to be clear, they do not believe that these guards had anything to do with Epstein's death. Sources that have been tracking the case say they've already rejected a potential plea bargain in this case. But again, as we bring you back live to Lower Manhattan, the two guards who were on duty at the time of Jeffrey Epstein's death, Michael Thomas and Tova Noel, said to be in custody and indicted by a grand jury. We're live in Lower Manhattan. Tracy Strahan, News 4 New York.
Okay, thank you for those details, Tracy. Much more on that as the day unfolds. We've got new information about a steam pipe incident in the theater district yesterday afternoon. 3 buildings in the area Still do not have steam service. It happened about 5 o'clock at West 49th Street and 8th Avenue. Con Ed says a water main broke and a massive amount of steam was released into the streets when the water hit the hot pipes. No one was hurt. State Attorney General Letitia James just filed a sweeping lawsuit on behalf of all New York kids, saying Juul reps falsely told students its products are safer than cigarettes. She made this announcement this morning while standing with anti-vaping advocates. James said Juul glamorized vaping with flashy ads while downplaying the risks. A recent survey shows a third of New York high schoolers smoke e-cigarettes.
Juul basically took a page from Big Tobacco's playbook by marketing its products in a manner that was appealing to underage youth.
James said the death of a 17-year-old in the Bronx, which was related to vaping, convinced her to file suit. In about 20 minutes, former Vice President Al Gore is going to make a special announcement about clean energy from New Jersey. Gore and Governor Phil Murphy will be at Jersey City's Liberty Science Center at 11:30. There are few details about the announcement, but the governor calls it, quote, probably one of the biggest announcements of the Murphy administration. New at 11 this morning, a Swedish prosecutor says the alleged rape investigation involving WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has now been discontinued. Assange is currently in prison in Britain. Back in June, a Swedish court ruled that he should not be detained, meaning that while a preliminary investigation in Sweden shouldn't be abandoned, he wouldn't be extradited and could be questioned in Britain. In Washington, week 2 of the Trump impeachment hearings is now underway. 2 top national security aides who listened to President Trump's call with Ukraine testified this morning. News 4's Andrew Siff and a team of producers have been watching the proceedings in the newsroom. Andrew?
David, Colonel Alexander Vindeman wearing his Army uniform testifying this morning alongside Jennifer Williams, who's a member of Vice President Pence's staff. They were sworn in this morning around 9:30 a.m., and these witnesses mark an immediate shift in the proceedings because both Williams and Vindeman were actually on the July 25th phone call between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky, the call in which Trump asked Zelensky for a favor seemingly unrelated to U.S. national security, that Ukraine investigate Joe and Hunter Biden.
Colonel Vindeman, what was your real-time reaction to hearing that call?
Chairman, without hesitation, I knew that I had to report this to the White House counsel. I had concerns, and it was my duty to report my concerns to the proper people in the chain of command.
And happening live at this hour, you can see Colonel Vindeman still testifying. Later today, 2 more key witnesses, including Kurt Volker, the former special envoy to the Ukraine. Some Republicans believe he may be a favorable witness for the president, with testimony that Volker was unaware of any quid pro quo arrangement in that July 25th phone call, but also Tim Morrison, a former national security official, who's expected to say that he was aware that the U.S. aid to Ukraine was conditioned on Ukraine doing investigations for President Trump. That's the latest in the newsroom. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
Okay, Andrew, thank you. This afternoon, the House plans to vote on a measure that could prevent another government shutdown, at least for now. The House reached a bipartisan agreement yesterday. Lawmakers plan to pass a 1-month extension to the existing budget. Then the measure goes to the Senate in time for the Thursday midnight deadline. Some Democrats fear President Trump may veto the extension to stymie the impeachment inquiry, but Republicans insist that won't happen. Back here in the city, the NYPD says it's trying to improve relations between cops and community, and that was the focus of an NYPD meet and greet in Brooklyn yesterday. The department says it has made strides since launching its neighborhood policing program in 2015. But the top brass says they can't do it alone. They need help from every city agency and every New Yorker.
We have a lot of social issues in this community that don't need criminal solutions. They need partnership, they need collaboration, and our best resource and our best collaboration in the NYPD is other city agencies in our communities.
The NYPD has credited a drop in crime to its neighborhood policing strategy. All right, let's turn to Dave now for a look at our forecast.
Yeah, as we look to the north, we saw those snowflakes we were expecting yesterday, and it was kind of a cold, nasty night. But things improving right now. Let's take a look outside, see what's happening. As we say good morning to you, 11:09. Thanks for joining us. A little bit of blue sky there. We'll take it. And the wind's kicking up just a bit. 46 degrees on the thermometer. 11:10 is the hour. Dew points at 37. That west wind is blowing at 9 miles per hour. No real effect on the wind chill. Around the region right now, as we take a look, you can see we had some excuse me, snow showers, which have begun to kind of dissipate and push out to the east. Temperatures pretty much everywhere in the 40s, with the exception of Monticello at 38 degrees right now. This is what it looks like as we take a look at Storm Tracker 4's red sweep. Again, nothing significant falling at all around the area. And again, anything we saw earlier, that's where we have those storm reports, and primarily through sections of Dutchess County and out to the north and west from there. Let's take a look and see what's happening as we zoom on through. Heavy snow in Millbrook, got about 3 inches over the past 12 hours or so. LaGrangeville at about 2.5, exactly what we were anticipating in that 1 to 3 kind of range in that direction. And now all of it should begin to melt away rather rapidly. So through the weekend, what can we expect? A little more sunshine today, staying quiet for much of the week, and it's going to be crisp as we head into tomorrow. More rounds of rain, though, as we head into next weekend. That timing's not perfect. Let's take a look inside the forecast right now at the arrival of those showers. This is Friday as it begins to move on through. We may get a break Saturday, but then Saturday evening and Sunday, we're talking about more rain, and to the far west of the city, far north of the city, we could be talking about more snow showers. In the meantime, as we talk about snow, we're still talking about activity in the tropics. Look at this. Now an 80% chance that this will develop into a named storm in the next 2 days or so. That is remarkable. Not out of the realm of possibility, certainly, but certainly we're pretty late in the season at this point, and we may have Sebastian on our hands. Forecast today, 51 degrees, a west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clouds breaking up a little bit, near normal temperatures, sunset at 4:35. 38 degrees, it'll stay dry, a little bit colder in the suburbs tonight. We'll see sunrise tomorrow at 6:48 in the morning, and a light wind out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's that 10-day forecast. Take a look. The trouble, unfortunately, this time around is going to be aimed directly at the weekend. It's nothing earth-shattering, but certainly we like our weekends to be dry and pleasant. That is a quick look at your forecast.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You bet.
Coming up today on News 4 at 4 o'clock, we're going to give you a sneak peek at the new floats for this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Also, a wild convenience store heist. It's caught on camera. What police say these two young women were looking for. So we thank you for joining us on this abbreviated online edition of News 411 as NBC's coverage of the impeachment inquiries continue on the broadcast channel. You can always come right here for any breaking news throughout the afternoon or any weather updates. You can download our mobile app as well. Have a great day.